the way this has become like a period piece, where it's like, because he's going through all the like sort of state of the art decor that you would have in a luxury hotel in the 80s. That was all state of the art, but now it's like kind of quaint. It's, you know,
it really is. Like, I was thinking about that at the beginning when he has to do the touch television screen. That probably was like, somebody in the audience was probably like, holy shit.
Yeah. The other thing that's striking me is just, it's been a while since I saw this, like how young Bruce Willis is in this. Like, he really looks like a baby face. Now this, like when this movie came out, it just, you know, it's like, he seemed like this like grizzled old guy, like I'm getting too old for this shit kind of, you know.
Tom, whenever I watched this when I was little, I thought Bruce Willis was like old as fuck.
Yeah.
Like I was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna be as old as Bruce Willis.
Yeah, he's probably like 28 or something in this. You hear about it, you know, when this came out, they weren't sure if people were going to take him seriously as an action star, because he was the goofball from Moonlighting, you know. And
like, even when you mentioned weren't sure, when they had some previews or trailers, they didn't feature Bruce Willis in it.
Right, it's like, you know, there's some bad stuff going on and somebody's got to do something about it. They just like show him in silhouette.
I always thought, like, too, if I would, you know, start losing my hair, I want the Bruce Willis, like, receding hairline, like.
It was originally written to be a Frank Sinatra vehicle, that it was going to be like Frank Sinatra's cop character.
That's hilarious. Like, apparently, in his contract, they had to offer it to him.
Yeah, and by this point, it was like, you know, it had taken, like, a really long time to get this movie going. So by the time it got made, it's like, you know, they offered it to him, but I mean, talk about like, I'm getting too old for this shit. If it was
what if he said yes?
1980s Frank Sinatra running around.
They're like, Frank, hey, you want Die Hard? And he's like, yeah, baby. And they're like, fuck.
Yeah, it's a different movie. I mean, I'm there for it.
Me
like,
too.
I would watch, you know, Frank Sinatra. You know, they wouldn't, because they come up with all these ways to sort of hobble Bruce Willis. You know, he's got no shoes, he's walking on broken glass, all this stuff. They wouldn't have to do any of that for Frank Sinatra. Like, he'd be having a hard enough time to begin with. When you're watching this movie as a kid and stuff, and it's just like, you just know that bad guy as the bad guy. And then you get older, and you find out it's Alan Rickman, and you've seen Galaxy Quest, and you've seen the Harry Potter movies, and it's like, it does something weird to your head to be like, oh wait, that's the guy from Die Hard too, because he just feels so different.
So different. Such a great actor, and like, he seems like, you know, rest in peace, Alan Rickman, the nicest guy. Yeah. But he'd be like, at like some charity event, I'm like, he's up to something. I know he's gonna pull his scheme, his terrorist scheme here. Like, just has like that like twinkle in his eye, the look.
Yeah, that was like a cool twist in this movie, that like he. You know, they say that they've got some kind of like political agenda, but it turns out they just want dough.
Just want dough. He and his team that are taking over the building, like, in like Die Hard sequels and other movies that are like Die Hard ripoffs, it's always disappointing when all his, like, the terrorist crew, like, they all get their own unique look and they all have their own moments. So like, very unique, like, bad guys in this. Yeah. You kind of don't get that in any of the other, even sequels. It's just fun. I'm like, man, I hope it's like, hey, there's the guy with the blue sweater. I'm like, there's Al Leong. There's the Huey Lewis lookalike guy.
Right,
like,
yeah, you come up with your own nicknames for all those guys. Oh yeah, and then here's that great shot of him, like, when he falls.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, there was some story where like you told them, okay, we're gonna count 1, 2, 3, and then you're gonna, and they were like 1 2, and then they yanked him, and so that like look of shock is like his real look of shock.
What I mean, the special effects incredible.
Miniatures, there's a couple shots. It's really fun seeing these like pre-CGI kind of things. So you see a little bit of like the matte work here and there. It's kind of like a cheesy looking helicopter here and there, but it's still great.
Well, Halloween, like, you know, I was Gallagher before, I mentioned that on the show, but I've also was John McClane. Okay. I did the black slacks and the A-frame tank top.
And then, like, blood, I'm guessing. Like, you smeared some kind of red something or other.
Just a little bit of blood, but I had, it was kind of, I guess I was pre-takeover John McClane. Yeah. Or waiting in the wings John McClane. That looks cool.
how undignified that he has to like spend the whole movie in his bare feet.
I know, like he's like
imagine Sinatra. You know, not what do you think I am, a hippie?
He's like, I'm not some stinking hippie. He's like, I got bunions. He's like, you what? He's like, hey John, why don't you get a close up of this bunion? My hammer toe.
He's got enough scar tissue on the bottom of his feet that he is not bothered one bit.
He just doesn't give a shit. He's like, hey, I got some. He's like, why don't you get a close up shot of these calluses? Reginald VelJohnson.
Yeah, is he playing the same character that he played on
Family
Matters? Because I mean, it's like he had the same out. Like I'm assuming when they made Family Matters, they were kind of playing off of that. Like you just saw him play the cop in Die Hard, and now here he is. You know, he's a cop. He comes home in his uniform, same uniform.
Yeah, like he's
and like,
Carl Winslow on Family Matters.
Okay, but what if like they the continuity was that they're actually like twin cousins or something?
Oh my god! Yes. And yeah, like that would have been amazing if like he does it on Family Matters. There's an episode where Al Powell comes to visit his cousin, and it's like somebody's doing split screen stuff.
Now this movie has like all the beats. Like it has all this stuff in this movie becomes cliche afterward. But like the thing of like, okay, the case is all wrapped up, we're all done, we're celebrating, and then it's like there's one last guy, you know, with a gun
that shows up
ready to do it, and then this is his chance. Like he was just kind of like radio backup before, and now is his chance.
I don't know if anyone's like has done this bit before, but I like how his like arc is that he gets to kill again or whatever.
Right.
Like he went behind the desk because
right.
he killed somebody, and now he's like.
But this time he gets to kill somebody to save some people. It's, you know, he's saving a bunch of lives.
He's like, I'm back. I can kill like once again.
Now and then another car comes up and he's like ready to, you know.
He empties his revolver into. You realize how great the script is.
Yeah, because there's a lot of like lining up all the pieces and stuff going on early on, and it that like you kind of don't remember, but then you see it's like, oh yeah, that like this is
so
thought through pretty
well.
Well, and then there's like the red-haired guy who's like the news anchor, and he was Walter Peck from the Ghostbusters and stuff. He's like, and like so like in my memory for the longest time, I would like remember him playing the Alan Rickman role because like I knew he plays like a son of a bitch in this, but it's like I picture him as like I always remember him in the because like two ginger villains.
He I think William Atherton's his name.
Okay, yeah, I never knew.
What a jerk! He has no dick.
Right.
The building is still standing. It's like a 20th Century Fox building. Mm-hmm. We'll have to do a visit there one of these times.
Now the guys who take over the building, they're all German. In like we had some German exchange students when I was in high school, and they were telling like we were watching Die Hard, and they were shocked that the bad guys were German because in Germany, in the German dub, the bad guys are Polish.
What?
I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. You got shocked that you talked to. Oh. What cool story, dude.
Yeah, it's like the interesting because it's like, yeah, you got. Of course, we're gonna have German bad guys. The bad guys are gonna be German. But then when they bring it to Germany, it's like, well, you know, that's a little different. You know,
yeah.
Like John McClane is German in the German version.
Well,
you know? When this movie came out, there was like this syndicated little like. You know, they'd have those little like interstitials, these little quickies that they'd show between shows on like the UHF channels and stuff. And it was Yogi Berra, and it was called like Yogi's Corner. And Yogi Berra would do these like quick movie reviews. But the thing is, I saw Yogi's Corner a million times, and every single time he gives you a quick review of Die Hard. So I don't know if like maybe for like the Die Hard promotion machine, they kind of came up with this idea of like instead of a commercial, we're gonna buy time to run this one episode mini show that takes like 40 seconds, and it's gonna be Yogi Berra. But I heard it so many times, I have the whole thing memorized, and it's like it's Yogi Berra. And
amazing, Tom.
He's like,
holy shit.
Die Hard, an action trill movie with a lot of laughs. Die Hard, an action trill movie with a lot of laughs. And he's like, I give it, two baseballs, or, 2 thumbs up, or 3 baseballs.
2 batting gloves up.
But like that's and Yogi Berra, that's like my dad's generation, or like he knew Yogi Berra, but like I just knew him as the guy who like only reviewed Die Hard, an action trill movie with a lot of laughs. Welcome to Yogi's Corner.
Dude, I need to hear this.
So I'll have to look that up on YouTube. I want to see if somebody has Yogi's Corner. But I swear, like, because there was never another Yogi's Corner other than him. It's like he went out and made this show just because he like loved. He went out of pocket just because he loved Die Hard so much.
He's like, I gotta spread the word.
An
action trill movie with a lot of laughs.
With a lot of laughs. An action trill movie with a lot of laughs. Like it had to be like an infomercial. It had to be an infomercial that the producers of the movie got, because they were like, oh, we don't know if this thing's gonna make it. People aren't buying. Bruce Willis as a serious action star. Let's get Yogi Berra in there to get us.
That is hilarious that he was like, yeah, a lot of laughs.
And it would start off with this like cartoon drawing of Yogi Berra sitting in like a director's chair.
Oh my God.
With like big head and stuff, and then he comes.
Die Hard.
An action trill movie with a lot of laughs. So we'll have to find that. See if that's on YouTube anywhere.
That gotta be the thumbnail.
Right. Yogi's, and he's like this or something, And then in the cartoon drawing in the screen behind him is Die Hard, because it's like
Bruce Willis is in the bed.
Yeah.
He's like Die Hard, an action trill movie with a lot of laughs.
No.
I give it 2 Lou Gehrig's up.
Anytime I watch Die Hard, I always forget, like, they have so many good, like, sort of twists on it, where it's like, okay, you think and then it's going to turn into this. And also, like, when they showed it for the first time, it was, like, a big deal, like, the first time they showed it on, like, Fox or something.
Oh, yeah.
And they would bleep this and they'd bleep that. And then, for some reason, they didn't bleep when he said, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Like, that went out. That went out straight without any like they bleep every little thing. But so I don't know if that was like, I mean, because that's a pretty big oversight. I don't know if maybe they were just kind of like, let it ride. It's better to apologize later than to ask permission ahead of time.
Because this has like one of the more famous like edits.
Yeah.
Yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon.
Okay. Yeah.
Like when I was watching Die Hard 2, even and in this one too, he's like, yippee-ki-yay. He's like, yippee-ki-yay, Mr. Falcon. And then he's also, in Die Hard 2, was like, yippee-ki-yay, Melon Farmer.
Now, wasn't, like, again, this is probably, like, one of those urban legends, but wasn't it, like, like, initially, it was Michael Keaton saying, I'm Batman, motherfucker. Like, that was, like, a way to let you know that, like, okay, this isn't kid stuff. This isn't Adam West.
Yeah, it's the big
Batman.
one.
Yeah, this is like, Dirty Harry or something.
He's like, I can't remember in all the chaos if I threw 1 batarang or 2 or threw 3 batarangs. He's eating a hot dog or whatever while he's like throwing his batarangs.
Right.
He's like, this is the most powerful batarang in the world. It can blow your head. It can cut your head clean off.
The Joker hires somebody to beat him up,
Jokey, instead of Scorpio, it's Jokio. Is it the Jokio killer, the Jokiac?
We gotta watch Dirty
Harry.
Yeah, because I don't think I've ever seen that except like as a TV edit.
Oh yeah, we gotta cover that one. This guy basically is the one that convinced him to take his shoes off. So Bruce Willis should blame this Joker for having bare feet in the movie.
Yeah, and it was like it was like Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk, where like you watch some of the shots and he's got like little green like Crocs.
Oh on. Yeah, he's got little booties.
Yeah, there's some shots where he's got Frodo feet on.
They're like Hulk hands.
Yeah.
Willis feet. They're like when they see. They're like we gotta test the camera out on Frank Sinatra's feet.
When you first saw Die Hard, didn't you think that like this hotel could not be more state of the art and timeless. Like it's
Oh, yeah.
never going to be. This look is never going to be dated. It's not like when you go into like a Holiday Inn that was built in the 70s or something. This is going to be a classic look. But I'm looking at it now, and it looks like Parkway Center Mall or something.
It does. It's like a dead mall.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got J.C. Penney's is like right around the corner.
Right, yeah.
You got Ellis, that jerk.
Yeah. There's Johann Fabrics.
Johann Fabric.
Hickory Farms.
Hickory Farms.
There's Radio Shack.
Wow. It's fully stocked.
This is like, I'm going to have to go on like an expedition because I was just thinking today about when I was really little. The first like video store I ever went to, like before we even had a VCR, it was called Video Village in Philadelphia.
Wow.
in like suburban Philadelphia.
Okay.
And it was called Video Village, and it was just it looked so cool, and it would have like Atari games for sale and TVs, and it would have those like TVs. There were like those TVs where it would have like 3 different colored projectors. It would be like an R, G, and B. Like project. And if you looked into the projector, you could see like the show in 3 different colors.
That's so cool.
So I was like looking for stuff about Video Village. I couldn't really find anything, but like because like I have a very clear image in my head of what Video Village looked like. It was all like grays and whites, and it was all like neutral color scheme and stuff. A lot of carpeting and stuff like.
That's so nostalgic.
Yeah,
that feels great.
So I kind of want to find it, like, and it closed up at some point in the 80s. So like when I was there, it was like this very brief window,
That sounds great. I'm
But,
gonna do some checking.
It was I think it was like the first video store in the Philadelphia area, and it has to be like among the first video stores like in the country.
Dude, I loved video stores so much. Like, anytime there was a chance, like I would like talk my parents into getting, like a membership there.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I would see the video store, if it was in like a close radius, I'd be like, can we just check it out or like.
Yeah.
So I think my parents ended up having like, multiple like memberships.
Mm-hmm. This was like a store that kind of did everything too, because like I feel like the video rental business had not been like fully solidified yet, so it was like they did video rentals, but then they also sold equipment and sold. It was kind of like an all-purpose electronics store, and then video rental was like part of the business.
That's
and then I think
neat.
that kind of like started to take over as it went on. But it was like that's where I would see like see like Ataris and Atari cartridges for sale and stuff.
Video Village sounds great, bro.
Yeah, so I gotta like maybe we can do a Video Village episode.
That sounds awesome. Yeah. Please, let's do it.
Yeah.
The different video stores, I can remember still like what the different boxes looked like. Mm-hmm. Like Rick's Video had brown boxes.
Yeah, they would have like those, like once we like became steady video renting family, Errol's was like the one we went to the most, and then I think there was like a West Coast Video.
Okay.
And then there were a bunch of mom and pop ones on, like every corner, if you just needed something quick.
And it was exciting too, like if the mom and pop ones, you would go into the store, then you'd be like, oh, they rent movies here. When you wouldn't realize that they were renting.
Yeah, and you kind of like, you kind of look around, and it's like, and it was always fun, that ritual of like the whole family is there. Everybody gets to pick a movie.
Yeah.
And it was that like paralysis by analysis where sometimes you'd be like, man, I don't know what to get. Like there's just too much to choose, and then you kind of choke and like pick the wrong thing.
Yeah, like I still remember my combos too. Like just on, I don't know, I can't remember them all, but I just remember like, I don't know, going to Eagle Video, renting like 6 episodes of Bigfoot and Wild Boy.
Okay.
Or when I was at Shop and Save with my like Aunt Bonnie, I rented Outbreak and Drop Zone and one, and sometimes you just remember like your different like.
Yeah, the Pittsburgh ones, because I came to Pittsburgh when I was a little older, so it was like Heads Together Video.
Oh,
that,
nice.
That was in Squirrel Hill, and then and they had like they had like deep cuts, and then there was a place called Entertainment Tonight that was like in the suburbs. And the main reason I would go to Entertainment Tonight was it was the only video store that had a copy of Thundar the Barbarian.
Oh,
so
nice.
I could watch, I don't know, I had like 3 episodes of Thundar the Barbarian. Like that was the only way you could watch Thundar the Barbarian. So I'd rent that again and again.
That's
just to
amazing.
watch like the 3 episodes of Thundar the Barbarian.
John Tesh runs that video store.
Yeah, Entertainment Tonight. Like that one lasted a pretty long time. I think it made it into the 2000s.
Oh, wow.
You know. And then there was that One Place Family Video that was like the very last holdout. I don't know if you would see it on like Route 51, I think. And like drive by, and I'd be like, man, I can't believe that still exists. And then it was just like during the pandemic, it was like, okay, it finally closed.
Shuttered.
But, yeah.
And you know what? I'd kill for like Blockbuster. Like even though Blockbuster was like the last like.
Well, it's funny. Everybody has like their Blockbuster nostalgia, but like Blockbuster's like the big shark that like put everybody out of business. You know?
And yeah, you'd go there, and it'd disappoint you when like they'd have 50 copies of something and it's all out. Mm-hmm. Like you'd go and it's like.
Does Eagle Video exist? Because like I remember like renting games from Eagle Video like in the 2000s. So like you can't go to Giant Eagle and rent a video game anymore. Like that's not a
that's so
not a thing
sad.
anymore.
Oh my god, yeah. I don't think so. Like, yeah, like they
because it was like as late as the 2000s. You could do.
Definitely, and like say Family Video too. I would go by and be like, I can't believe this thing's still renting movies. Something I've been like keeping in. Like I wanted to tell you like so like. It looks like it takes place during the holidays. I'm gonna break this on the show here. I think Die Hard is a Christmas movie. 'Cause that's me that like I'm coming up with that. Like
that's an interesting theory. Like
Christmas music and stuff.
Yeah, kind of like like Home Alone or something. Like
Home Alone. So this is I think.
No, we're breaking news here. That
Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
You know what? When I was a kid, like you'd read these like video game magazines, and there were like. You could buy like a cartridge that you could put in like your Sega Genesis or whatever that would allow you to play Japanese like Mega Drive games.
Yeah.
And so like you'd order it would be in a video game magazine. You'd order this thing and then you could order, mail order Japanese games. And so one of them was like it was a game that wasn't available here. It was Die Hard. It was Die Hard for the Sega Genesis.
Oh, that's awesome!
So like I remember
Holy
playing
shit.
that. That was pretty cool.
You're so lucky. That's
it was
awesome.
It was like this top-down shooter kind of game where like you're looking at the and you're going through all the buildings as John McClane.
And that was man, dude, I've got.
That was like in the 90s.
I gotta seek that out, bro.
Yeah,
that sounds great.
Yeah, I want to watch like a YouTube because it's been a while. I want to watch a YouTube video of like the Die Hard Mega Drive game.
And like. Did you get any other good titles for that with that special drive?
I mean, that wasn't. It was like a friend of mine who had it, so I didn't have it myself. But that was like the one I remembered. You could get like a disc drive that could connect to your SNES, and then you could like rent an SNES game and then just like copy it onto the disc drive and play.
That's incredible.
Play like SNES game, have like the whole library. This is all like before emulators and stuff. So like if you wanted to have like a big library of games just for like the price of rental. Die Hard, it's a classic. There's nothing that we're gonna say that's gonna change your mind about it, except for like the breaking news, your bombshell that you just laid out here that like.
What can I say?
Die Hard is a Christmas movie, and look, I just saw Santa. I just saw like a little Santa statue.
Santa
completely a Christmas movie. Gets you in the spirit. So
I'm
change my way of viewing it. I'm gonna have to watch it. I mean, I watched it just recently for this episode.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really thinking of Christmas, so so I'm gonna watch it one more time, but think of it as maybe get like
some eggnog,
some eggnog going, put on a sweater and watch this and see how it goes. It'll be interesting to see the reaction to this video that like you just kind of changed something very like fundamental about the way
people
the world
watch
works
this.
And the way people see this beautiful sunrise behind McDonald's.
Yeah,
McDonald's never looked better.
Like
you can almost like smell the cologne or something in that hotel room.
He's probably putting on some like Stetson or some English leather.
Yeah, it's just like that hotel room. It's just like you kind of want to stay there. Good. We just saw the Fabelmans, and it's like we got a good like low shot. Like the horizon line's very very low.
You remember the words of wisdom from John Ford?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I have some skin bracer aftershave. Just because of Jack Palance's commercial where he's like, confidence is sexy. Don't you think? Skin bracer.
You are my number one.
You're my number one. A guy try some of this, Jack.
That's what turned Jack Napier's skin white and his lips red was the
Skin brace.
Skin brace.
And also the color is just fucking like Axis chemical green. I think this episode is sponsored by Skin Brace. Skin. He's like, Skin Brace.
Well, that was back when you thought that like making your skin burn was like good for you. That was like the age of like chemical peels and like all that. Like I don't know if you remember the commercials for Sea Breeze, beautiful skin.
Yeah.
Breeze with Sea Breeze. That like you're gonna make your skin healthier by like putting all this like abrasive chemicals on it.
Yeah, the worse it hurts, the better your skin is.
Yeah.
Skin Brace. He's like, try some of this, Jack.
I shit bigger than you.
I shit bigger than you. He's like, you are my number one guy. Now go get me my Skin Brace.
Okay, I'm Tom Scioli, author of Jack Kirby, The Epic Life of the King of Comics and Fantastic Four Grand Design.
I'm Matt Zeoli.
And follow me on Twitter at Tom Scioli or on Instagram at Tom_Scioli.
Follow me on Instagram at cinema_tomb.
And yeah, we'll see you next Christmas. We'll see you next time.
See you next time. Ho ho ho! Now I have an episode.